I took two trades on this day, one break even and one win. Um, so basically, this was the previous day. Like this was the big O trade that I took where I cashed out a previous day's low. And then remember, like I said, I wanted to see standard deviation hold bullish, or I wanted to see us respect standard deviation and go back to equilibrium of this price leg, which is what we ended up doing. And I noticed that we are holding this 1 hour fair value gap bearish going into the day, and obviously we're still extremely bearish on the bigger time frame. 4 hours in a sell model, intermediate's high has been taken out. SMT here at this internal high, 4 hour fair value gap continues to hold bearish. We've still got sell side draws lower on the daily time frame. We had this accumulation here, manipulation, and now we're distributing. So extremely bearish going into the day. I'm going to continue to be bearish until this low gets taken. So at this particular day at market open, we were doing exactly what I would want to see us do for a sell model. Because notice in the PM session of the previous day and all in the overnight session, what are we doing? We're slowly rebalancing back up of this to this bearish price leg. Then we end up holding the 1 hour fair value gap. And notice what we do around the start of London session, around 2 a.m. What do we start to do? We start to accumulate. This is exactly what you would want to see. You wouldn't want to see the market just continue to get bought up and then market open and then just straight up dump. This right here is what you want to see. You want to see the market start to slow down. You want to see it start to build price action, start to accumulate buy side liquidity, accumulate sell side liquidity, and then market open, have some form of manipulation, and then see a sell off. This is exactly what I would want to see going into this type of day where there's already a very clear and obvious bigger time frame model. So how I actually ended up trading this, let me bring up my executions. I took two trades on this day. One of them was break even. One of them was a win. Now the first trade that I took was this trade here that you can see. Now my thought process was market opens right here, and I was thinking about taking this trade, but I wasn't 100% confident. So this is the market open right here. This was an SMT. So okay, then I grabbed the wrong one. This was an SMT right here. So if I drag over ES, this high here on ES, and hang on, am I tweaking out right now? No, I'm not tweaking out. So at market open, this high had already been taken out on ES. ES had already taken out this high, so we already had a bearish SMT going into market open. Now this is the 8:30 a.m. candle. This is market open. What do we immediately do? Let me just get rid of this 1 hour. Just keep in mind that all of this price action is happening inside of a bearish 1 hour fair value gap, but it's kind of, I just don't like it being in the background. So what do we do right at market open? We immediately sell off at 8:30, giving a 1 minute change in the state here. Okay, I don't know why this is not working. Getting a 1 minute change in the state here and a 1 minute inverse fair value gap, right? So this is already an entry right here. Like you could already short this, but the reason that I didn't take this initial trade is because I just didn't like ES. Like there's been so like too many times I've taken entries on this like extremely early into market open where NQ looks really good, but ES just doesn't look as convincing. And what I mean by that is notice where ES was at like before any of these candles had printed out here. Just at 8:30, was ES. This is the 8:30 candle. So while ES is just selling off a little bit into this bullish 1 minute fair value gap here, and ES also has equal highs right here. As you can see, ES had not yet taken out this high. I just didn't like the way that ES looked, so I did not take this entry right here. Although you could have taken this entry here, and you also could have taken the 8:31 a.m. candle that came up and respected the inverse. Now, this would not have been at all been a bad trade, but you definitely want to at least be taking profits and or moving your stop to break even at these equal lows if you're going to be targeting this low. But I mean, these equal lows, this is just a painfully obvious draw on liquidity here. This is so clean. But market ends up selling off at market open, sweeping out these equal lows, and we sweep out this low over here, but we leave London low or Asia low. We leave Asia low intact. So we're still generating sell side. And on the bigger time frame, just because we've swept this out doesn't mean I'm automatically bullish. It's obviously on the bigger time frame, like I've already explained in the previous recap and this recap, this is insanely bullish or bearish. No, this is just ridiculously bearish. Like everything here is pointing bearish, and we still got sell side draws lower. So just because some little 1 minute equal lows get taken here, just because these equal lows get swept and we start to get bought up, don't start to change your bias. Like this is still bearish. So when we get bought up here, I still have not taken a trade. But what am I wanting to see? We come up, NQ sweeps out this high, which is beautiful manipulation here. And then we put in another SMT. So ES when we get bought up right here, ES comes up here and sweeps out every single high. Notice NQ still has not taken out this high. This rebalance on ES ends up taking out everything. So another bearish SMT gets put in. Now, what is the reaction of the bearish SMT? The 1 minute fair value gap here gets ran through. So as soon as we put NQ sweeps the internal high, we put in another bearish SMT at this high. Then I wait for the reaction of the SMT. What is the reaction? The 1 minute fair value gap gets ran. So I take my entry here. My stop is at the high. And where am I targeting here? I am targeting this file. Okay, let me just explain this right quick. So since the bigger time frame is insanely bearish, then I don't want to be insanely greedy. I don't want to get insanely greedy and do what I did yesterday. Like this was the trade that I took the previous day where I just caught this entire move. I don't want to try to get really greedy and do that again, even though it will probably end up playing out. We will probably go to this low. It's very likely. But what do I do here? Instead of taking my trade off at the sell side level that I have marked, I'm targeting this 5 minute fair value gap because if I go to the 5 minute time frame, notice what we have. Notice this is still a very clean sell model here. But I'm going to try to squeeze out a little bit more because I'm still confident that we go lower. And why do I like this 5 minute? Because it's untapped. This is a very clear untapped imbalance right here on the 5 minute. We have not yet come into here. And what else do we have right before this imbalance? Relative equal lows. So we've got equal lows on NQ leading to this imbalance. And the bigger time frame is already extremely bearish, which means I would expect a continuation here. So that is why I'm not just taking my full position off at Asia low on this trade. I'm targeting all the way down to the 5 minute untapped 5 minute fair value gap. But this trade actually ends up getting break even stopped because what happens is as soon as this internal low gets taken here. So remember, this was my first entry right here. So I'd enter here and I'm targeting all the way down to the 5 minute. But as soon as this internal low here gets taken, I move my stop from the high to break even. And then what happens? I get break even stop. So the market basically comes back up. We hold this fair value gap bearish, and then we hold equilibrium of this price leg, right? So we just get a rebalance, barely stops me out at break even, but I'm still bearish at this point. Why am I still bearish? Because this has not been taken, these haven't been taken, and the 5 minute has not yet been mitigated. So I'm still bearish. Now the second trade I took was kind of like, I mean, it wasn't a bad trade. It was just kind of whack, but I mean, it still ends up playing out. But it was just kind of a goofy trade. But this, I don't know why it's hard to see. But if I go here, as you can see, this is the first trade that I took on this day. The break even one was like a small, tiny loss, and then this was the second one that I took, and it was a nice little win. But my second trade, the thought process going into that one was when I get break even stopped, right? Hang on, I'm tweaking out. Where did I get stopped? Right here, I get breaking. No, okay, I'm actually tweaking right now. Yes, this was a break even stop. So let me just take off the executions because this is confusing me. I don't know why it goes all the way over here when I got stopped right here. But I get break even stop right here. Fair value gap holds bearish. Now when I see the fair value gap hold bearish and we continue to sell off, we actually end up sweeping out this low. So Asia low gets taken right here with a big 9 a.m. news candle, as you can see. 9 a.m. sells off, but we're still in a bigger time frame sell model, and we still haven't taken out these relative equal lows here, and we haven't tapped the 5 minutes, so I'm still bearish. Even once this low gets taken out, I'm still bearish. So what do? 9 a.m. opens, we take the low, we end up getting bought all the way back up, but then we put in another bearish SMT. So ES here, this is 9 a.m. Both assets get bought up. ES comes all the way up, perfectly sweeps the high, clearly showing that it's a hesitation to go higher. We're just sweeping buy side, and then notice, does NQ take this high? No, not even close. NQ comes up, fails to take the high, another bearish SMT gets put in. Now, what is the reaction of this bearish SMT? Also notice NQ is continuing to hold this fair value gap bearish. So 1 minute fair value gap continues to hold bearish. NQ sweeps out this internal high here, and what else are we doing? I can't talk. We are continuing to hold the 5 minute change in state bearish. So notice, this was a series of up close candles on NQ that ends up sweeping out the high, or ES sweeps out the high. So this is the low that we're looking to get displaced through a change in state. So change in state gets put in, and we're just continuing to respect it. Like we respect it here, 5 minute fails to close above it here, we respect it here, and we're still respecting the 5 minute change in state. SMT gets put in, we're holding the fair value gap, so I'm still bearish. Even though this low has been taken out, I still want to see to the 5 minute, and I still want to see to these equal lows right here. And the bigger time frame is still in a sell model. So what is the reaction of this SMT? A 30-second inverse fair value gap. So Market gets bought up, SMT gets put in. As soon as this fair value gap gets ran right here, this is where I take my short. So I don't, like I said, the executions. I think it's because this move happened so fast that the executions were tweaking out. But let me try it one more time. Okay, there it is. I don't know why it wasn't showing it initially, but this was the second trade I took. As soon as this fair value gap gets ran through, I take another entry. My stop was just at the. I had a very tight stop at the high of this 30-second fair value gap, and I was just targeting this 5 minute. So that, as you can see, I cash out right when the 5 minute gets tapped. We end up trading through the 5 minute a little bit, and now we're starting to get a little bit of a rebalance. But overall, pretty clean day. Now I maybe could have like secured some profits on this first trade, like this one that ended up getting break even stop. Maybe I could have like taken a little bit off here because I ended up taking two cons. I took two minis with this. So as you can see, 20 micros here. So maybe I could have like taken off one mini, but I mean that's probably just hindsight. But yeah, this one ended up getting break even stopped. But then when I see 9 a.m. open, we sweep out the low, but we still leave the 5 minute untapped, and we leave these relative equal lows over here untapped, and then we get bought up, put in another bearish SMT, clearly showing that we're not willing to go higher. Then what do? I wait for the reaction of the SMT. The reaction of the SMT is a 30-second inverse, so I take another entry, and this is more of like a scalp, but I mean, you're still catching, 42 points here. So I scalp all the way to the 5 minute, and then I close, and yeah, that's where we're at now. So I do want to continue to forward. I'm not going to take another trade, but I just want to see if this 5 minute ends up holding bearish, and then we end up selling off the previous day's low. This is ridiculously glitchy as normal, but okay, no. So market ends up tweaking out, but yeah, I mean, took my piece of the pie. Beautiful trade, and yeah, I'll see y'all in the next recap.